Hello guys, it's Fizzy and welcome to another league race. This is the AOR Formula Renault 3.5 league on Project Cars, the PC version, and well, this is the fourth video from this season. Obviously it's round 7 and 8 because there is 2 rounds being run per video, a feature race and a sprint race as always. This time we are here at Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya in Spain, of course. You're currently watching my best qualifying lap ahead of the feature race. At this point in qualifying with 5 minutes to go, I was provisional pole in P1, but I don't know what to expect here. I felt reasonably good with this track going into the session, and so far it's been a pretty decent lap as well, I'm pretty sure. My main championship rival today was 5 points behind me in the championship going into this event, and he's also currently P2 in qualifying at the time, at this particular time in the session. So now we've gone through the first 2 sectors, going through the final sector now, the most technical sector of this whole track. Of course, this chicane coming up is one of the most dodgy corners I know of anyway. Managed to get through it without hitting those sausage curbs though, which is good because they can really unsettle the cars, especially these ones that are very unstable when you hit the curbs. But let's see what happens when you go across the line. We improve our time to 1:27.9 to stay provisional pole at that point in time, but unfortunately we dropped down to second because a debutant, Govak, also known as Govan Keeney, who made his debut in this league, although having a lot of league racing experience on iRacing and elsewhere. He is super fast, and he came in at the end of the season showing his pace, and unfortunately pushing me down to second place. So no bonus point for pole from me, but starting on the front row for the race as we get a good launch off the line. We have managed to finally sort out our start, it seems. We are actually alongside Govan Keeney already on the run down to turn 1, even ahead of him on the outside though, and we are braking a lot later, and somehow looking in the mirrors today has also managed to slot himself past Govak. I'm not quite sure how he was that slow into the first corner there after starting on pole position, but it's been a perfect start to the race for us up to P1 from second place, with today though the championship contender that I am battling with, as mentioned before. He is up to second right behind me. So same positions in the race right now as we are in the championship, but you can see in the mirror as well that Govak really pressuring today. He is so fast, even though it must be said he is a little bit you know, he's got a reputation for causing some incidents and stuff from other leagues he's been in. Previously banned from the AOR iRacing league for that particular reason, causing one of the biggest crashes in the history of that league, as today gets very close to my rear end going through the hairpin, which is also pretty tricky for me anyway. That's kind of the corner I feel like we're struggling the most with, the hairpin, to get it slow down and turn in properly. I seem to be losing a little bit of time there usually, but throughout the final sector here, pretty decent. Managed to stay off the sausage curbs again through the chicane. Not the best exit there, but you can see, oh, today actually spun behind me. Yeah, the reaction time of the commentary there was probably about the same as it was when I was racing as well. Didn't notice it until I was around the next corner that he had disappeared from behind me, but he did spin by himself, I think, coming out of that chicane. And now though we made a mistake ourselves, putting the wheel slightly in the gravel on lap 3 here, and you can see Govak is right on the back of us, and we are struggling a little bit again on the exit of the chicane to get a proper run onto the start-finish straight. It's such a crucial place to exit with good traction as well, because you're carrying that speed out of the chicane all the way down to turn 1, and you can see Govak now pressuring us really close. We're going to have to pull to the inside line to defend. Hopefully we can brake late enough to stay ahead, and we can indeed. Govak doesn't fight it too hard and try to go around the outside or anything, but he managed to get a good exit though out of turn 1 and 2, and then through turn 3 here, which is a tire killer, really shredding those left hand side tires. Well, a really bad track as well for tire wear, this one. And once again, as we skip several laps forward, again on lap 8, it's a similar story. We're going to have to go defensive once again from Govak, who is so fast, but somehow we managed to keep him behind for nearly half the race so far, even close enough for him going through turn 3. Can't go around the outside there, just try to get back for a good exit, but once again, we are just about far enough ahead to keep in the lead right now. And while I try to keep focus still to keep going behind, because any little mistake now means he will have the opportunity to slip past, because he's literally rubbing his front nose on my rear wing right now. But yeah, I just want to point out, because some of you pointed out in the comments before that as we run a little bit wide, let's come back to that as we completely messed up turn 8 there. Into turn 9 and Govek on the outside. We're going to have to leave a slight bit of room. A stranded car there as well. Unfortunately, Govek managed to carry so much more momentum around that corner from being on the outside line. And now we're going to try to go the outside as well into the hairpin. But no, there was no chance of that on that occasion. So unfortunately, we lost the lead now to Govek here on lap number 8 in the race. But just coming back quickly to the point I was mentioning before. Some of you have asked why I got so much fuel left at the end of the races. And we always start on 80 liters of fuel, and that's because we are running default setups in these cars. It is not allowed to modify the setup at all. It's locked in the lobby, so that basically starts you by default on 80 liters. You can't change it. Everyone should be in the same boat if they've done everything correctly and if the game works properly, which you know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, so that's why I tend to have quite a bit of fuel left at the end of the race. So unfortunately, you can see we are not quite able to pressure Govek back after he passed me. Although now though on lap 10 we are coming up to quite a bit of traffic. That is flying K-Mag, not flying K-Mag, flying K-Man, who is today's teammate in fact, who is letting us pass there, coming down the main straight. On to lap number 11 in the final sector now, and Govek just pulling out a few more tenths in every sector at this moment in time, just carrying on his qualifying pace when he was a few tenths faster than me into the race, and being a few tenths faster on each lap now as well once he finally got that overtake done. As we go very briefly on two wheels there through turn 13, then down through the chicane again, round the front corner soon to start lap number 12. Oh, but we hit the curb. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. That is not good at all. We've stranded on the racing line and the engine has stalled. We're gonna have to re-engage the clutch, try to get out of the way. And oh fuck. Well, not sure what to say about that, to be perfectly honest. Obviously I lost it on the curb. And then I do know very well that once you are stranded on the track, you shouldn't move, because it's always easier for cars coming past to avoid a stationary object. But in the moment, as I was sitting there on the racing line, not having any power in the engine because it stalled, I kinda panicked a bit, had to turn the ignition on, had to press the engine start button, had to engage the clutch, and my only thought in that moment was to get off that damn racing line before the next cars came. Unfortunately, it was too late. Turn it off, it's too painful. Well-deserved 0 points for me there, and today finishing in second for at 20 points for him, meaning he passed me quite clearly in the championship. And of course I apologize to the driver that I ended up blocking after the race. Honestly, one of the worst moments I can remember from my league racing experiences, but what can you do, it's happened. Had to move on. Didn't quite get my head together for the second qualifying though. Qualified in 4th position, not quite as good lap as in the first one, but you know, the show goes on. You have to try again in the sprint race, and again a pretty good launch off the line. Govek, another slow launch for him, and there is today. There is a new pole sitter, Diffuser, who also making his debut in this event, also showing himself very, very fast. Maybe having a look up the inside of today through turn 1, but no, not close enough on that one. And actually getting bogged down a little bit on the exit, meaning our team at One Tire slipped past, but he then had a slide midway through turn 3. Today also going wide. One Tire off the track there, rejoined just behind me, so we didn't get any positions on that particular start. We didn't lose any either, though, so we're still in P4 here at the start of the sprint race. 10-lap race compared to the 20 that we just did, even though I only got to do 11. But yeah, where do we go from here? I mean, I guess we just have to keep driving. That's all we can really do. Try to get our head back in the game. Try and keep up with those 3 super fast guys up ahead of us. A little bit of dust kicking up from the outside of the track. You can see Diffuser still leading with a lot of pressure from Govek though. Today also keeping up quite well, while I'm just ahead of One Tire behind. Not quite able to keep up with the top 3 at the moment, but I don't need to maybe, because today he's had a big slide through that corner, and he spun again. He's lost it completely on the curb back there. He's spun around, and that means we have moved up to P3 past our now championship rival, who is now leading the championship, unfortunately, because of what happened in race 1 here. But he slowed us down a little bit as well, though, meaning we're now under very much pressure from one tire behind. The top 2 have gotten away because of it as well. So we're going to have to go defensive. Did this well against Govak in the first race on a couple of occasions. This time as well, we braked nice and late and left one tire with no chance to go around the outside. And got enough of a gap going through turn 3 as well to retain the 3rd place now in this race, while the top 2 still keep battling up ahead. Now on lap number 2, going through turns 7 and 9, and you can see there's a car off track there. That is Govak. And now through turn 9, and we are maybe going to be close enough to put a little bit of pressure on him, but obviously we know he was at this distance in front of us in the first race as well. At that point, he didn't look back and started pulling away from me again, and that was the same case, unfortunately, on this occasion as well. Lap 3, and Govak starting to show his pace once again, while the Fuser is allowed to just run away now with no pressure from behind. He can only focus on his times. Well, Govak now tries to catch the gap back up, and I try to hang on, but oh, he spun off there. Govak has spun off into the gravel. That's how quickly mistakes can happen, completely off the track. Suddenly we're into P2 without really doing anything. Govak making a mistake all by himself, and I can only assume actually that he forgot to turn off the DRS. I guess it's something, when you don't drive the car and just watch the video of this, you maybe forget that these cars actually have DRS that we can apply anywhere. And you can see on the HUD on the bottom right, when DRS is open, that is when the DRS box is flashing white, or is highlighted white, I should say. That is when it's enabled, and I can only assume that through turn 9, Govak forgot to disengage it, because obviously it disengages automatically when you brake, but you don't brake going through turn 9, so you have to actually press a button to turn it off, and that can be quite easy to forget a few times. This time we go through turn 9 now with no DRS, luckily, because as we've seen, that's not gonna work. But we are now on the final lap of the race. Today, behind, has moved himself up to 3rd position. Govak, I think, had even further struggles in the race, dropped further down the field. A big gap though to today. Diffuser had a bigger gap for most of the race, but he actually made a mistake on the final lap, but obviously he had big enough a gap to for me to not really be a threat to him anyway. So we're gonna have to come through the final corner now. I basically just took it easy all the way in this race. Once I got up to 2nd place, didn't really need to push, because I knew 2nd place was the most I really could get unless the Fuser made a huge mistake, and there wasn't any pressure from behind either. So we cruised home to get 12 points for the championship. Today behind he gets 10, so in total though today he gains 18 points from me from this event, and is now, as we will see in just a bit, he's gonna be 13 points I believe ahead of me in the championship, which obviously is quite annoying considering I went into this with a lead. 12 points even it is actually between us now. So for the first time this season, today has gotten the upper hand in the championship fight, and although I got a decent podium in that 2nd race, the whole event for me was tainted by that mistake in race 1. I felt pretty crap as well for a couple of days after it happened, but we have to move on. We now look on to the next event at Road America, around 9 and 10 there. So hopefully we can bounce back with some good performances, so that we hopefully can have a bit of a better day in the cockpit than we had here. But for now, thank you all very much for watching this video, and I hope you will join me again for the next one at Road America. Until then, goodbye.